We've had some great racing, some expensive shunts, blue skies, red mists. We're likely to get all of that in our last race at Oulton Park. Round 12 of the High Q MSA British Touring Car Championship. Commentators Tim Harvey and Ben Edwards.
Thanks very much, Steve. Well, it's been an interesting day so far, hasn't it? Now, I wonder what's going to come up for this third and final race, Tim.
Well, one thing that hasn't changed is this oppressive heat. It's still just as hot as it ever was, so the drivers are going to still have to face that. It still means the advantages with the BMWs, but with the top 7 reversed, it does give that opportunity to James Thompson at the front to repeat a win that Shedden has done in that car in the previous years. But don't rule out Turkington in 7th, and don't rule out Johnny Adam in 3rd.
No, Johnny Adam, the first of the BMWs on the grid. James Thompson starts from pole position, and we saw what he could do from up front at Donington, but he hasn't quite had that same level of pace. And I think a little bit, as Mike Nicholson was talking to Louise on the grid, that's a temperature-related thing. As we know, the front-wheel drive cars are going to struggle a bit more. But there is James. He's carrying on radio. We'll get a chat with him in a little while. But what do you think? What are his prospects of staying up front?
Well, I think if he makes a good start and doesn't get jumped by Johnny Adam, who didn't make a good start in the second race, then he's got a good chance at least holding off for a while. He has got zero ballast on, so this is as quick as his car can possibly be. So he's got a fighting chance if he gets to start at least for the first half of the race. But if the BMWs claw up to him, the second half of the race is really going to be tough.
He's race fit though, isn't he? He's racing in Denmark as well as in the British Touring Car Championship. He currently leads the Danish Touring Car Championship.
Yes, he won last weekend at a circuit I couldn't possibly pronounce, but he's certainly busy and he's certainly got plenty of race time.
Now, alongside him on that front row of the grid is Andrew Jordan. That's going to be interesting because this time last year he started on pole position for the third race of the day on the reverse grid. Led in the early stages, was passed, in fact, funnily enough, by the Civic, being driven by Gordon Shedden on that occasion. And then he also lost second place to Adam Jones, but kept his head after that, finished in a strong third. This year, of course, big chance with Vauxhall. What can he do from here, I wonder?
Well, I think he's realistic. I spoke to him just now. He's realistic in his belief that for this race that it'll take something a little bit special, a bit of luck for him to do well. Of course, that race last year, he had his father on the radio talking him through the race. That doesn't happen now. The whole team side of it is run by 888, and he's part of the works team. But I don't think he needs his dad to talk him around the race. He knows what he's got to do, and he'll play this one as it comes along.
Johnny Adam starting in third place. He's in the white and blue Team Airwaves BMW there, and of course we've seen Colin Turkington make some electric starts off the grid as normal with the rear-wheel drive BMW, but it's up to Johnny now to see if he can squeeze between the two front row men. And look on the right-hand side of the grid as we look at it, it's all Vauxhalls, isn't it? You've got Andrew Jordan, you've got Matt Hill, and then Fabrizio Giovanardi.
Yeah, and I mean, it really does give the advantage of the BMWs. They're on the inside to start with, and of course they're on the inside for the first corner, and you can get hung out to dry by going around the outside, and it wouldn't be a surprise to see one of those Vauxhalls out on the grass.
Well, let's wait and see. They're waved away now on their green flag lap. James Thompson leads them away. Andrew Jordan getting plenty of tyre smoke there as he tries to get some heat and temperature into those front tyres, and the rest of the grid just managing to move away, I think. Don't think there's any problems there. And right, these guys are getting away. So gives us an opportunity then to take a look at the grid in a little bit more detail. It is James Thompson on pole position then in the Team Dynamics Honda Civic. Andrew Jordan's alongside him in the VX Racing Vectra. Next up, it's Johnny Adam in the Airwaves BMW and Matt Neal in a second of the Vauxhalls. Jason Plato, he starts on row 3 in the Racing Silverline Chevrolet with Fabrizio Giovanardi next door. And Colin Turkington, winner of 2 races today, starts 7th with Adam Jones alongside in the Seat. Paul O'Neill is next up on row 5 with Alan Morrison in the Ford Focus. And then Dave Bigney in another Team Dynamics Honda. He's got Tom Chilton next to him in another Focus. Dan Eve starts on the 7th row, still those pickup problems in the Seats. Stephen Jelly with plenty to do from that 7th row as well. Row 8, Harry Volkard and Martin Johnson. Martin Johnson in the Astra Coupe, the older car. Martin Bell and Matt Jackson make up row number 9 of the grid. Matt Jackson hasn't had a particularly productive day today. James Nash, another of the RML Chevrolets, he starts down on row 10 with Rob Collard, and he had that prop shaft failure at the start of the previous race. And John George brings up the rear after a bit of a tough day for him as well. So plenty of drivers out there who'll want this final race of the day to work. And look, there's a bit more oil down again.
Yeah, they've had to face all sorts of track conditions today, haven't they? But they put plenty of cement down, and I'm sure it'll be okay.
Right, let's see if we can get a quick word with James, our pole position man, and see what he's got to say for himself. James, this is Ben up in the commentary box. So you've got pole position. Can you hold on to it? That's the question in this one.
Well, I'll be doing my damnedest, Ben, that's for sure. It's always nice to start at the front of the grid and see nobody in front of you to the first corner. But just need to make sure we keep it that way. Obviously got the fast starting BMWs behind us, and need to make sure Mr. Jordan doesn't get alongside me around the first corner and try and do me into clearways. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, I would have thought, this last race.
Great track, this Oulton Park circuit, looking fantastic in the sun today, isn't it?
Oh, it's been beautiful. I hope everybody's enjoyed it today. Just need to try and get a result for my boys who've been working exceptionally hard as always. So try and get one for them today. But I think we're going to be driving the widest Civic in existence, I think, today.
Okay, we'll have a good one. And we're watching his feet on the pedals there, Tim.
Yeah, he's warming the brakes with his left foot, and he does conventionally brake with the left foot, although that is the other style of doing it, just coming up to line with the heeling and towing action there, you see. It's not really a heel and a toe, it's more of a rocking of the foot.
Yeah, good demonstration of that. And there he is, bringing the black and yellow, or Dayglow, Team Dynamics Civic onto pole position. Andrew Jordan on the outside there, then Johnny Adam, as you mentioned. That is the potential threat from the second row, of course, with the rear-wheel drive BMW getting off the line. And on that same side is, of course, Jason Plato in the blue Chevrolet. Then you've got the orange Team RAC car of Colin Turkington. Let's see what he can do from 7th on the grid. He's had 2 victories so far today. It's asking a lot to go for 3 wins. It's only ever been done once before under these current regulations. But let's see what happens here, as we are all set now for the final touring car race of the day at Oulton Park in Cheshire. Lights on, lights out, away we go, and Thompson does light up those front tyres. Lots of tyre smoke, gets away reasonably well. Andrew Jordan's going with him. Johnny Adam is trying to squeeze through, but he can't get the lead. What he will try and do is take second from Andrew Jordan, but Jordan's got it on the outside, and they're followed through there reasonably sensibly by the others. Watching out for the 2 Team RAC cars. Turkington attacking Giovanardi, but it's Thompson who's made the break, Tim.
Yeah, he's made an excellent start. Did get some wheel spin, but still managed to hold on to it. In the background, I was watching Turkington. He did get round Jason Plato.
Yellow flags down at Cascade. Someone's gone off there. Didn't quite spot who it was. Martin Johnson is one of them. And the Team Boulevard car fires back up again. He's back in the race. It's Thompson leading, Jordan in second, Adam in third, Matt Neal in fourth, Giovanardi is in 5th place. Vauxhalls are looking pretty strong here. They've had a tough day. Then it's Colin Turkington, then Jason Plato. So Plato lost out. Thompson too deep into the first part of the chicane there. Might have lost a bit of time.
Well, we saw him in the second race go straight on there, and he very nearly did the same thing again then.
Yeah, he did say that brakes have been an issue, didn't he? He told you that, and certainly he backed that up earlier on today, but he's just about stayed in front. You've got Andrew Jordan in second position, Johnny Adam in third. Now he's just got to settle into the pace here, try and get a feel for the car and see if he can defend. Andrew Jordan already moving out of his slipstream, looking for any opportunity, but he's got to watch his own mirrors, because Johnny Adam in the BMW's right there as well. And remember, that BMW will only get quicker as we go deeper into this race.
Yeah, Johnny Adam needs to just hang on to these 2 for a few laps until he gets his tyres fully up to temperature and they start to slow down, but he's right in the mix at the moment. Very close battle for the lead.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And Matt Neal and Fabrizio Giovanardi are on the back of this group as well, so it's becoming a 5-way battle for the lead. This is great stuff. James Thompson last won here at Oulton Park back in 2003. Seems like a while ago now, but of course it's his first full season, proper season in BTCC in some ways since 2004. He drove for Seat for some races, but not a full programme. And now he's defending from Jordan. Andrew Jordan's got a little think about the inside, but there's a tiny nudge, a little tap just to say, I'm still here, I'm still watching you.
Yeah, unfortunately that little nudge, all it does is accelerate Thompson away and leave Andrew Jordan falling into the clutches of Johnny Adam.
Yeah, it does, and he's in a bit of danger there, but it allows Thompson to get his braking right this time into his lot and through the Knickerbrook chicane, and the rest of them follow through. It's Jordan in second, or Johnny Adam clips the curb, but he's all right. Matt Neal in fourth, Giovanardi in fifth. Behind them is still Turkington sixth, Plato seventh, Adam Jones is in 8th place, Paul O'Neill runs in 9th. The top 10 rounded out at the moment by Stephen Jelly. And they come up over the hill, and Stephen Jelly just tucked in behind Adam Jones. In fact, I think he might have gained one past Paul O'Neill. Meanwhile, James Thompson heads down towards Lodge Corner with just enough of an advantage.
Well, usually the third race is the one that causes all the upsets. So far, it's all been fairly well behaved, but we've still got a long way to go.
Rob Collard, he's come up pretty well. He started towards the back, but he's up to 12th, I think, now. And O'Neill actually is ahead of that other cars I saw. So Paul O'Neill's up to 8th. That's a good run from him. And Collard is now in 11th place, clipping the apex there with Stephen Jelly just ahead of Rob Collard. These two have had an incident already this year, so they'll want to try and keep it clean as they come down the hill. Right behind Rob Collard with the big red strip on his windscreen is Alan Morrison in the forward focus, but we're back with the race leaders. It's James Thompson still from Andrew Jordan in second and Johnny Adam in third.
Yeah, still no movement there. It's Paul O'Neill, as you say, running in a really good 8th. He's the local lad from Widnes, so a lot of local support for him here.
Yeah, there is. But this group, I tell you what, this is going to be really interesting because James Thompson is not able to break away as Turkington was earlier. There's a battle going on further back as well. Adam Jones is in that group as well. Yeah, and I think he's just got past Paul O'Neill, so that's for 8th. Adam Jones managed to get past Paul O'Neill and has sneaked through there and gained a position. That's put him to the head of that next queue.
Yeah, and Collard coming into a shot there has got in front of Jelly at the same time.
Yeah, so there were some changes there as they headed down the hill into Hislops, but Adam Jones with that slight pickup problem still costing him time. The two forward focuses running together. Alan Morrison in 12th and Tom Chilton currently in 13th. They're ahead of Pinckney and Jackson. Matt Jackson's not been able to make up a huge amount of ground starting at the back as he did. Collard has made up a bit more. He had a good start off the line, which of course is always a part of driving the BMW. Across the line they come once more. It's still Thompson who leads. Jordan in second. Johnny Adam has just set the fastest lap there. He sits in third.
Yeah, that'll get better though, I can guarantee it. But really impressed with Rob Collard's driving this year. He's really got that maturity, confidence, experience. He's carving his way through the field at the moment, and really, really impressed with Rob this year.
Yeah, driving superbly, and he needs something here because that prop shaft failure at the start of race 2 has really dented his championship hopes. Thompson, though, with the control here. Jordan a bit deep there. Oh, and there was a tap from Matt Neal on Johnny Adam, and it's gone wrong. And Matt Neal pays the penalty as well to hold up his teammate Giovanardi, and Plato's got a chance. Look how that's changed things around.
Yeah, that tap on the back of the BMW, Johnny Adam just instantly turned it round. The rear-wheel drive cars, we've said already so far, they can't recover that situation like a front-wheel drive car by mashing the throttle and pulling the front round, and Adam just got turned around, and it's really broken up the front pairing.
Yeah, and it's put Matt Neal into third place. Now remember, in terms of the championship, Turkington coming into this race leading the championship, but now Matt Neal's moved up. Turkington's still several places behind him, so this could be Matt Neal's advantage, but he's got Jason Plato right behind him, then Giovanardi, so you've got 3 champions all racing against each other. Another champion up front, of course, that's James Thompson, but these guys are going to go at it, hammer and tongs, and they've got Adam Jones joining in the yellow and green Seat.
Here we go, a replay. This is looking back at Andrew Jordan. There you see behind Matt Neal. Oh, nearly punts Adam all the way round.
Yeah, that was a big spin. Take another look. As you look up ahead, you'll see the BMW in the middle of the road and then come straight again, thankfully. And this was Jason Plato then trying to take advantage, and he did get past Giovanardi as a result of that. Matt Neal's a bit wide there, gets it tucked in eventually, and the top 2 have been able to make a break from all this.
Yeah, I think this is exactly the scenario that Thompson and Andrew Jordan wanted. No BMW close to them because of that separation.
Oh, Matt Neal was quick into that, but sort of then held everybody up on the apex. I wonder if anything's going to change for third there. It's pretty tight. Matt Neal still just in third, Plato in 4th, then Giovanardi in 5th place, then Adam Jones. Look at them all. And Jones ahead of Turkington. He's really having a good run here, is Adam Jones, making the most of any breaks in the traffic, and that's a good effort from Adam Jones. Turkington, then O'Neill running in 8th. Collard is still there, he's in 9th, and Stephen Jelly is in 10th place. We're on board with Rob Collard as he climbs the hill.
Yeah, I'm sure that Matt Neal's car is at least slightly hobbled by that damage, and obviously he's queuing everybody up behind him, and that can only last so long. Oh, look at the back of Paul O'Neill's car sliding there. This is on board with Collard, trying to line him up. O'Neill's had to go defensive, but Collard is very late on the brakes.
Yeah, but so is O'Neill, so I think he's going to fend him off through Lodge Corner, and the sunshine.co.uk car just staying ahead of the Airwaves BMW. They've got the Stephen Jelly machine right behind them as well, so that could change across the line. So 5 laps completed. We go on to lap 6 out of 15. There's still plenty of time here, and the BMWs are going to get stronger, remember. Look at that, on board with Rob Collard, and he's getting alongside Paul O'Neill. This is the battle for 8th position.
Yeah, but he's on the outside coming down down the cascade. He's cleanly through though. Great move. Well, Rob Collard honestly heard what I was saying about him, and he's driving beautifully.
Yeah, very good stuff indeed. He's coming from the back, remember. This is really quite some performance from Rob Collard. Starting 20th on the grid. He's now got himself into 8th position. Up front, there's still James Thompson, and he's made a break now from Andrew Jordan. There's no doubt about it. The last lap has certainly been an advantage. You're looking, just briefly, trying to get a picture of the feet on the pedals there, but James Thompson guiding his way through the Knickerbrook chicane, the second part, and leading Jordan. Then Matt Neal, still with Jason Plato behind him. The rest of them all charging down into this section. Dan Eves got Harry Volkart trying to get alongside, but that wasn't going to change, and that's the battle for 16th position.
Yeah, I hope we get that shot of James Thompson's feet, because he really does control the car. He comes from a rallying background, and rally drivers always use that left foot on the brake technique just to balance the attitude of the car. It's a great technique and very good. Matt Neal damage looking worse, and here comes, nearly through there on the inside was Plato.
Yeah, he really thought about it there, didn't he? And Neal is definitely holding them all up. The damage on that car, it is not that quick in a straight line in particular. Obviously, the aerodynamics have taken a bit of a hammering, and as he comes down to Old Hall, he's still just fending off Plato. Now, remember, these two were battling for lap after lap in the last race, and Plato emerged victorious. Neal was never able to quite get alongside, but he certainly gave him a nudge or two, and I'm sure that Jason might return the favour over the next few laps.
Yeah, it's something's got to give here. It's too long in this race to go for it to stay like this.
Yeah, I can't see it staying like this either. Bits of bumper might fall off Matt Neal's car for that matter, because it's certainly looking a bit wobbly at the back. On board with Jason Plato as he comes down to the hairpin into Island Corner, and that was neat and tidy, no contact on that occasion. Don't forget that Plato still got Giovanardi breathing down his neck. Up over the hill they come, and fantastic crowd.
Collard and Turkington getting together! Oh, Collard, that was so dangerous. He was moving across on Turkington, and to be fair, I think Turkington probably backed out the throttle a little bit, but that was very nearly a big off.
Yeah, that's another place gained by Collard, though. He's certainly being aggressive, but that's got him into 7th position now, ahead of Colin Turkington. So Collard's climb continues in this race, having started towards the back. Take another look at it.
Yeah, Collard starts to move across to defend into Knickerbrook, but he's not in fact passed all the way. And that's very good driving really by Turkington not to spin him out there.
Yeah, just backed off enough. Meanwhile, Matt Neal still holding on to 3rd from Plato. Here comes Matt Jackson down the inside of Stephen Jelly. That's taken 9th place, I think. So I think Johnny Adams dropped back a little bit over the last couple of laps. So
Johnny was involved in that accident at the start of all this with Matt Neal. I'm sure he's had some damage. He got hit up the back and then knocked straight again at the front, so probably some damage to the right front.
Who was that running wide? I think it might have been Jones. We'll have to take a look back. They got away with it, I think, but Jones coming under pressure from Collard in the background now. There's the battle for 3rd, so it's Matt Neal 3rd, the blue car of Plato 4th, then Giovanardi 5th, but behind is Adam Jones versus Rob Collard, and it's Collard who's certainly been making up the places, and Jones goes wide. Here's another chance for Collard. Yeah, straight through on the inside, nips past, gets in front, and thank you, that's another place gain.
Yeah, he only just manages to nip back inside, actually. He followed Adam Jones deep on the brakes and nearly couldn't turn it, but just at the last minute he managed to get some front end bite and come underneath.
Well, this is an amazing drive by Rob Collard. Can he keep it up? Can he now catch Fabrizio Giovanardi and put these guys who are battling for 3rd under pressure? Just to remind you, it's still James Thompson leading this race, 1.3 seconds his advantage over Andrew Jordan in 2nd place. Matt Neal there in 3rd with the damage to his car, followed by Plato Giovanardi, and now it is Rob Collard who's getting closer and closer to them. That's the gap between 1st and 2nd. I think Tomo will be pretty happy with the way things are going here.
Yeah, it's absolutely what he needed. He got the start, he got a little break courtesy of Matt Neal's interaction with Johnny Adam, and his closest BMW challengers are some way back.
Yeah, Turkington doesn't seem to be able to put in the sort of pace that he was in that the first 2 races, which is a bit odd. Might have picked up some damage in the early part of this race. Matt Jackson comes through. He's just lost a place to Stephen Jelly, despite having fast his lap a lap or so ago, several laps ago in fact. Matt Jackson's lost a place there to Stephen Jelly, as we're battling still for 3rd here. But look behind this battle, because now Collard is right behind Giovanardi, and that's where I'm going to watch, because look, there's the BMW now beginning to move to one side, and the Italian will be a hard nut to crack.
Well, you can tell Rob Collard's a hot rod racer where they reverse the grids and you have to come through from the back, because he's doing exactly that. I mean, this is a fantastic performance right from the very back to be amongst this leading group without the benefit of any safety car, remember. He's just driven to the front.
Yeah, so far that's what he's done, but can he get past Giovanardi? Well, he had to think about it, but he wasn't quite there. So sensibly, again, using that more maturity that we're seeing from him, he goes for it when the opportunity presents, but and that was a little mistake from Giovanardi ahead of him. That would have cost a fraction of momentum. This is giving Rob a good run.
Yeah, it is giving him a good run. He's probably got slightly dirty left-hand tyres away as well, which may make him a little cautious. There's a slide as a result of the dirty tyres. Rob's trying to get a run at him through. He's still sliding wide, Giovanardi, but he's just held it well.
Yeah, he has held it well. That should have been a chance for Collard, but he couldn't quite capitalise on it. And so he's still in behind him, although Giovanardi deep into large brakes so late, doesn't he? And Collard gets the better exit.
Well, yeah, it really looked like Giovanardi was braking too late there, and you can see he's losing a lot on the exit because he's lost momentum.
Yeah, and almost nudging the back of the Vectra, and a great oversteer correction from Giovanardi. Look at them both on the grass. Wonderful, wonderful driving. They're both absolutely flat out here and just about maintaining control.
Well, don't say these guys don't earn their money. Just look through the windscreen at Giovanardi's hands. They're like lightning across that wheel.
Yeah, that was a great recovery. Good piece of car control. But he's still got Collard with a potentially quicker car. There's no doubt about it. The BMW's come into their own about half distance. We're just over half distance, and there's a chance again. Can he get alongside? Yes, he can. And Giovanardi this time is the one who runs too deep.
Well, Giovanardi's been out braking himself the last few corners, and he's done it there and given the position up to Rob Collard.
Collard is now in 5th place. He started in 20th. That is remarkable. He is now into 5th position. This is one of the drives of the season from Rob Collard.
Well, I really hope it keeps going because, you know, he'd already be my driver of the day. I love to see good racing, and as I said it before, this is without the benefit of a safety car.
Yeah, that is amazing. So let's see if he can continue the progress. The next one he's got to try and catch, of course, is Jason Plato. James Thompson still leads. There's 2nd place Andrew Jordan, 3rd for Matt Neal. There's Neal with the damage to his car. Then it's Jason Plato in the Silver Line Chevrolet. But then it's Collard, who's come all the way from 20th place. Behind Collard is Jones. He's in that little group behind Giovanardi. And then Turkington. Let's just see this once again. Coming into the hairpin, this was.
He just look, 2 hands on the wheel, tugging it round, but the car just won't turn at the speed it's going, and Collard just stops the car perfectly, dives up the inside. Thank you very much.
Yeah, made it look very easy. It was relatively, by touring car terms. And now he's got to chase after Jason Plato. 1st and 2nd come through Cascades. There's 3rd and 4th. And fastest lap still belonging to Matt Jackson on that 3rd lap of the race. Jackson, by the way, still down in 11th, having briefly getting into 10th, but he's back down in 11th. Giovanardi, Jones and Turkington going wheel to wheel here. And Turkington's trying to regain that place. Meanwhile, James Nash is in, and looks as though it could be the end of the race.
He had problems with the gearbox in that 2nd race, and then when they fired it up, they found there was a problem with the clutch release bearing, so he wasn't too hopeful of completing this race anyway. But I still think it's been a fine debut for James Nash this weekend.
Turkington still carrying ballast, of course, in that Team RSC car, but doesn't seem to have been able to fight quite so well with it in this 3rd race, and he's now got his teammate bearing down on him as well. 2 of them chasing after the yellow and green Seat Leon as they come up the hill and up towards Druids Corner. Behind them is Paul O'Neill in 9th position as well. Jelly passing O'Neill on that last lap, so I think he's down to 10th position now. And not too far behind them as well is Matt Jackson. He's in the blue Chevrolet at the back of the group. Meanwhile, following Jones with Colin Turkington. You can see the bash in the rear bumper there on Jones's car, but I don't think that's going to cause him too many worries.
I tell you what, Rob Collard isn't finished yet. He's already onto the back of Plato and Neal, and he sets the fastest lap of the race on that lap, 1:28.9.
Wow.
28.1.
That's amazing. Nash rejoins right in front of the leaders. That's just going to mess things up, and Collard's already passed Plato. Collard's just got fastest lap, and he's gone past Plato. Collard is in 4th place.
He's on a mission, an absolute mission. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets... Well, here we go, across the start-finish line, and he's obviously got a better run. Plato, I don't think, is expecting it, and a big dive down the inside, and a really peach of an take there into Old Hall.
That was perfect. When you've got a great run going, you just want to get somebody before you've had a chance to even think about it, and that was perfect. And now he's closing up on the Vauxhall of Matt Neal, of course, which has been struggling a bit for pace anyway, and no doubt this is a real chance for Collard to perhaps get on the podium.
Well, yeah, not only on the podium, but Andrew Jordan and even Thompson there are not that much further in front.
No, that's true. We've had 11 laps, we're on lap 12 out of 15. So has he got enough time? That's the question. Fastest lap by Rob Collard. There's the confirmation. Absolutely superb lap last time around, and that just shows you how the BMWs are working so well in the heat here that they can set a fastest lap after this many laps. And here he goes then. He's on the attack. Is he going to dive to the inside last moment into Lodge, or is he going to save it up to the next corner?
Well, he's working to get exactly the same move he did on Plato by getting a really good exit after Neal's defended, but I don't think he's quite timed it well. He might have done.
Matt Neal holds it tight, and he's going to push him out wide, and he can't cut back this time, so he can't repeat the manoeuvre of last lap on Jason Plato, and Plato's still there behind them, so he's ready to capitalise on anything that might occur. Collard goes wide. Neal really trying to turn the car in. You can see him chucking the Vauxhall in to get it turned into the left-hander, but gets through the corner well, and Collard still quite hasn't got the momentum he needs here to attack into the hairpin.
No, he's hoping that Neal's going to run wide, but Neal's braked early enough, I think, there. Rob Collard cuts it back, but he's not going to get an overlap there with Neal driving so tightly.
Clever stuff from Matt Neal. That was beautifully done, and although Collard's potentially quicker, he couldn't really do anything with it. Now he's got to see whether he can try anything on the outside. No way through there. This is Matt Neal, double champion of touring cars in the past, driving absolutely brilliantly at the moment to fend off the man on a mission. That's Rob Collard, of course. Don't forget, it's still James Thompson who's leading this race. Thompson leads by 1.8 seconds, but it's this battle that we're watching for third. And here comes Rob Collard again, closing up into Druids, the double apex right-hander, through here, over 100 miles an hour at the apex, and now on the accelerator hard, but he's not quite there on the approach to Lodge.
No, Matt Neal did that very well. Will he defend into this corner, which will give up an opportunity to Collard going past the start-finish line? He doesn't need to, and Rob hasn't got quite such a good run.
No, let's just see though, as he comes up over the line, it's going pretty well, but there's no space. There's no space on the inside. Matt Neal, there was a slight touch. You can see the correction on Matt's car. Now he's going to try and cut back. He's trying to force Matt to brake late, and Plato's joining in. Plato's going to become a part of this as well.
Well, it'd be a shame for this to end in tears for Rob, but you can tell that his dander's up, and he's not going to give up on this podium position.
Absolutely, he wants a podium starting from 20th place, and he's got every chance, but Matt Neal is defending resolutely, watching the mirror, seeing where that BMW is, the Airwaves car, looking for any chance to get past here, but he can't do it there. Matt Neal holds the inside line. Oh, and he gets on the oil a little bit almost there. Did Collard just cost him a bit of traction?
Yeah, it cost him a little bit of time. I think it's probably his eagerness to get on that throttle and accelerate the car out the hairpin that was causing that oversteer.
Yeah, we're on less than 2 laps to go now, lap and a half or so for this race, and still Collard chasing that third position as they come out of the chicane. Oh, he gets into a big old wobble coming out of the chicane that time, getting a bit carried away perhaps with all this, but still in with a shout here.
Yeah, I'm sure if the team had said to him, if he'd started further up and was in 4th place, he'd probably say that was good enough. But when you've had such a fantastic charge, you actually don't worry about the points. You just want to keep going.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Well, I tell you what, Matt Neal is brilliant through Druids, that right-hander that leads onto that straight, and by doing so, and then he's good enough through here that he can just about fend off Rob Collard, despite Collard being quicker. So we're on to the final lap, and Matt Neal desperately holding on for 3rd place. Collard looking to gain more ground if possible. It's already been an absolutely remarkable drive by him, starting from 20th. He is currently in 4th. Race leader James Thompson, Andrew Jordan there in 2nd, and here we go then. Battle for 3rd is still on as they come around this final lap. He's trying to nose alongside, can't do it there at Cascades. Now, what about the momentum? Great accuracy from Matt Neal, not putting a wheel over the edge. Now it's all about the braking into the hairpin. Get it right. Don't outbrake yourself like Giovanardi did. Clever stuff.
Yeah, Matt Neal just moving out a fraction to give himself a little bit of a better run through there, but not open the door to Rob Collard. But he's running out of places to pass. We haven't seen many passes on the brakes here into Knickerbrook, so the only place left is going to be Lodge, the final corner. But we saw how quick Matt Neal was through Druids, the preceding bend, and I don't expect him to leave the door open at all. No,
James Thompson's looking good for his 3rd win of the season as well. Interesting, we had so many different winners to start the year. Turkington and James Thompson are going to become 3-time winners, and keeping the whole thing bubbling away in terms of the championship. And of course, Turkington leading the championship coming into this race. I think he may well have lost the lead again to Matt Neal, because Matt Neal, if he holds on to third, may well retake the championship lead, but he's going to be under attack for that third place into the final corner. Rob Collard trying everything he can, but it's clean, it's sensible, and it's James Thompson who comes through to win the third race of the day. Andrew Jordan an excellent second, and third goes to Matt Neal. But what a drive by Rob Collard, starting 20th I should say, and finishing 4th. Stunning stuff from him. Plato finishes 5th, and then Giovanardi, Jones, Jackson, O'Neill and Turkington complete the top 10.
Well, Morrison just beat Turkington to that final point as well, on the line.
Yeah, so Turkington lost out there, right on the line, as you say. Alan Morrison squeezing past him, so that was disappointing. Let's see what happened to Stephen Jelly and Dave Pinkney on that last lap, with Johnny Adam behind them as well. Oh, little tap from Jelly on Pinkney, and then Pinkney gets on the grass, bounces across in front of Jelly, and the other guys all go whizzing past. Thanks very much. Take out the sides. Oh, ouch, both into the Armco as well.
Yeah, that was unfortunate on the last lap, but a great drive by James Thompson. A little bit fortunate perhaps, but he did everything he could possibly do, which is what a professional driver does. He made the start, got away, and just paced himself to the end.
Yeah, pretty beautiful drive, as we saw from Donington when he got in front there as well. He was able to control it, and that's the class of the man. In fact, Gordon Shedden took the victory in the Honda here last year in race 3, and it's repeated that in the hands of James Thompson. But it's Andrew Jordan second and Rob Collard. What a drive by Rob Collard. He got the onboard there, he's got his door open, and that was one of the drives of the season, there's no doubt about it, coming from 20th on the grid to finish in 4th. I don't think anybody could have predicted that. So let's just confirm that result then. Thompson the winner from Jordan and Neal. Collard a fine 4th, a fighting 4th from Plato, Giovanardi, Adam Jones, Matt Jackson, Paul O'Neill and Alan Morrison. And Colin Turkington missing out on any points at all in the end there, finishing down in 11th place. So the Team RAC car just out of the points. Harry Volkard 12th, then Johnny Adam, Dan Eves, Martin Bell, and then the cars involved in various incidents, especially at the end there, Pinkney and Jelly. James Nash also had his problems, and Tom Chilton had problems earlier on. So a really interesting race, that one. Fantastic in the battle for third, particularly. A fairly controlled race, of course, up front from James Thompson. Wasn't too much battling for him to deal with. And Andrew Jordan, I think, will be delighted. That matches his best ever result in British touring cars. He's had a second place this season already with Vauxhall, and that was actually what Vauxhall needed more than anything. An absolutely solid performance from the youngster. He delivered there, with Matt Neal doing a fine job of holding on to third. So Vauxhall might not have had their best day, but they've come home with a double podium finish at the end of it, on the day that Fabrizio Giovanardi also celebrated his 100th race in British touring cars. Well, he had to settle for 6th position in that particular race. And this is what it has done to the standings. Matt Neal has retaken the lead. Look at that. We saw Turkington go ahead after race 2, but now, just 2 points in it, Matt Neal has taken over the top spot once again, and Giovanardi there in third, then Plato, and Collard, who was really down after that second race, after that prop shaft failure. He said, oh, I don't know, that could be it for my championship hopes. But what a way to reply with that performance, and he's there in 5th. But James Thompson's a danger for everybody if he keeps on winning races like that. He is currently 6th ahead of Adam Jones. Andrew Jordan, useful points for him there, that second place. And he's ahead there of Matt Jackson and Johnny Adam in the other Airwaves car. So, well, I think everybody here at Oulton Park has enjoyed the day. The sunshine has been tremendous. The racing has been hard fought and pretty clean throughout all the 3 touring car races. We only saw safety car very briefly earlier on, but really nothing much in terms of major incident to worry about. Lots of good hard racing, always tough to pass here. And Matt Neal was brilliant in the way he defended that third place from Rob Collard. But Collard himself showed you can overtake, having started 20th and got to 4th. Well, that certainly shows some people that it is definitely possible to overtake around the Oulton Park circuit. Thumbs up from him, and I think the team will be celebrating that one big style. Bad luck to his teammate Johnny Adam, who started third on the grid and was really hopeful of a good result there, but it all went a little bit wrong for him with that contact from Matt Neal at the hairpin, and I'm sure he will feel a bit aggrieved about that, and maybe they even will look into that incident later on. But, well, the end result was it was all over for him. Let's get some reaction down there in the pits. Down to you, Louise.
Congratulations, James. It was a slow start to the weekend for you, but you've certainly ended it on a high, haven't you?
Yeah, it just shows what teamwork does. You know, the boys have been working exceptionally hard, and we made progress every session after qualifying. and they gave me an outstanding car in that race, and yeah, over the moon for them.
Now, you said to us on the outlap that you were going to have to make your car the widest Honda around, but actually you didn't seem to get trouble too much.
Well, there's two ways about it. Either hold everybody else up or try and get your head down and disappear like a scolded cat. I took the first approach, and if it didn't work, I'd have resorted to the second approach.
Were you surprised how easy that victory was for you, though? Maybe it wasn't as easy as it looked.
Well, I think I said we lost out in qualifying a little bit, but I always thought we had a strong race car, and we fine-tuned it every race. And of course, the nice thing is when it comes together, you know, and you win, it's just fantastic. And of course, we've won now 2 races at Donington, 1 at Oulton Park. So let's keep the roll going.
Congratulations. Well, let's have a word with second place finisher Stephen Jordan, equalling his best ever result in the BTCC. A relatively quiet race for you as well, though.
Yeah, it was. At the start, I could see Tomo was losing the back a lot on the way into corner, so I thought we might be able to have a go at him for the win. But then he just started gapping us a little bit. And once I knew that, I just started then to look after the tyres a little bit, because I could see the lot behind me fighting a little bit. So I thought, well, we'll just settle for a second, because it hasn't been the easiest of weekends. So if you had said at the start of the weekend you could go away the second, I'd have been chuffed a bit. But you know, as I say, it hasn't been an easy weekend, and everyone at Triple Eight's really worked hard just to try and improve the car a little bit in little stages. But great result for everyone at Pertec CBT and Triple Eight.
And your teammate on the podium as well, and that was an interesting race for you. I mean, you spent the last race battling to get past. You spent that race looking in your rearview mirrors the whole time, didn't you?
Yeah, Rob was coming on strong at the end. I had a bit of a thing with Johnny early on, which was really regrettable. I put my nose up the inside and he turned across on the BMW line, and then I sort of half turned him, and then I tried to push him straight to get out of it, and so I don't know what happened to him after that, because it was all kicking off at that point. And then Jason was giving me a hard time for a bit, and then Rob came through in the last 2 or 3 laps were real touch and go.
Just sum up this weekend in terms of the result for the championship.
Character building. It's, you know, we're going to have good weekends, we're going to have tough ones, and Colin's had a great one this weekend, Jason's had a good one. Fab and I have not had so pretty mediocre ones, so we'll come back fighting, no worries.
Well done, we'll see you next time round, and let's go back to Steve.
Thanks, Louise.
Thank you very much indeed. It's been a fantastic day's racing. That drive by Rob Collard from 20th to 4th on the grid. One of the star drives of the season, I'm sure. Our next action from the Touring Car Championship, well, that comes in 2 weeks' time as we head to the northeast as Croft hosts rounds 13, 14 and 15. Croft near Scarborough, the action beginning at 11:45 on ITV4. And before that, we'll have the closing stages of the Le Mans 24-hour race. That's from 10:30 in the morning, also on ITV4. That's a big day of motorsport in 2 weeks' time on ITV4 after a red-hot day in every sense here at Oulton Park. Bye for now.